And now the results are in. Taking the podium this month for the Cycling Men of Leisure:
Franklin Johnson, Alex Bell, Barbara Sharp, Mandy Johnson, Kip Uthold, Joe Grammer, Dennis Keeler, and honorable mention, Keith and Melanie Erickson.
No kissing of the cheeks, no prize money, no champagne. Just our undying gratitude and the smug satisfaction of getting every regular show 2 days before the general public.
That's right. That's 48-hour gap. Not even Puja. You know what? Toddy can close that.
Welcome to the Leisure Breakaway. Catch the sun and seize the day. Push the limit, feel the heat. Listen to the rhythm beat. Keep on moving, never slow. Where the yellow jersey goes. The tour is calling out your name. This is the Leisure
All right. Well, welcome back to the Cycling Men of Leisure's Leisure Breakaway. That is basically our mini podcast, tracking the events and the winners and the losers and everything going on at this year's Tour de France. Stage 17 looked like one last opportunity for the sprinters before the race heads into the High Alps. But it certainly delivered a lot of drama, and we're going to break it down for you. I'm Michael, and with me, as always, is Adam.
Good evening. I've got Breakaway, and some more Breakaway.
A lot of Breakaway there.
Yes.
Okay. Well, would you like me to start things off?
Yeah, let's keep it normal. I mean, now that you're back from Arkansas and you're back in your studio on a regular basis, we got you grounded. I think everyone is liking the format.
All right. Well, today's distance was 174.7 kilometers for us Americans. That is 108.6 miles. Elevation gained was about 2,360 meters. That's roughly 7,750 feet. And today's temperature was actually super nice. 26 degrees Celsius, that's 79 degrees Fahrenheit, which is far better than what they've been seeing. Jasper Philipsen of Alpecin took the win today. His winning time was 3 hours, 41 minutes, and 13 seconds, and he completed that going 47.23 kilometers an hour. That is 29.44 miles per hour. Now, this stage was classified as flat, but I think anybody who watched it did see some pretty good hills. There was 4 categorized climbs, so I wouldn't call it flat, but they didn't ask me. So, and there we have it. And Remco and the Toddy, little spat they're having as far as seeing who's going to be number one and this whole thing's over, pretty much stayed exactly the same. So that's
cool. Okay. Well, that's stage 17. Good show. All right, buddy. We'll see you next. No.
Well, I'll give you a couple highlights if you'd like me to do that.
Yeah. I got some too, but go ahead.
Okay. Philipsen finally got his first win at this tour. I think he's won 11, counting this one, Tour de France stage victories. And so that was kind of nice. Came through, broke through with a powerful sprint. Mathieu van der Poel delivered a beautiful lead out for him to help him beat a couple of other riders. The green jersey did get a little tighter. Basically, he moved within 7 points of Pedersen, so we'll see there. That could change here in the near future. I told you yesterday that I thought there was going to be a lot of breakaways and that they were going to get pulled back. Man, I was not expecting today. There was a lot of breakaways, but man, the peloton just fragmented. There was times when there was like the main breakaway, and then there was like 3 or 4 other, segments going. It's like we got the peloton here and this first breakaway and this second breakaway and this third breakaway. I mean, it was crazy, and it went like that most of the day. So I was not expecting that whatsoever. Couple of rough moments. One came with Adam Yates. He had a stomach illness, and you could really see it today. And he finished 26 minutes behind, which definitely could affect UAE's support in the mountains. Definitely was not riding the way he normally rides, and it was pretty obvious something was going on there. And then towards the end of the race, Jasper Stuyven, he made this strong late move and was caught only 3 kilometers from the end, from the finish line. And let me tell you, when he broke out, I was like, oh, this would be so cool if he made it, but he didn't. But I do like his ambition.
Cool.
So there you go.
So, you and I both do our own notes. Yours are usually 99.9% right. I took some notes today and used full AI, and actually I had Claude talking to ChatGPT and back and forth, which was funny to watch them have a conversation. But I got some pretty cool things here. So, said it took about 75 kilometers for anything to resemble what would be considered a stable breakaway to form. At one point, the race split with the yellow jersey wearer Pogačar, Evan Poel, and several others contenders in the front section, while third place, Del Toro, caught behind. They briefly made a stage look like as though it could affect the general classification. So that was kind of interesting. I did kind of see that. But as you mentioned, the fight for green, we do have a gamble immediately after the intermediate sprint. Jasper Stuyven tagged along. Say it again.
I believe it's Stuyven.
Stuyven. He tagged alone. Clever moment. The other riders just had completed an important sprint. He took a gamble, which was kind of he was finally caught, as you said, 3.5 kilometers away. As you mentioned, the Patterson now leads with 452 points for the green jersey. Kind of a twist today. That was great. And the overall standings, as you mentioned, Pogačar, 60 hours, 4 minutes and 17 seconds he's been on the bike. That's almost like a full-time job. I'm just kidding. It is a full-time job. As you mentioned, 4 minutes and 32 seconds, Evan Poel, and then 6 minutes and 51 seconds for Del Toro. But you can talk about stage 18 in a second. But yesterday I mentioned that I was going to talk about the breakaway. And what is it? What it's for? What are the pros? What are the cons? And so I've really tried to break this down. This is my own research, actually. So because you would say the word breakaway, and then of course we did the song. Which, do you want the song real quick?
No, I don't want the song, but it's a very catchy tune.
And for a guy who had not paid attention up until now to the tour, except for I knew about Lance Armstrong and of course the big scandal. And by the way, when the scandal went off, just as a side note, Nike had these very, very expensive sweatshirts. They sold them like pennies on the dollar. I still have some to this day. So, but I was uneducated what the breakaway was. And so, of course, I've been learning all along. And I have a kind of a little bit of a breakdown of the breakaway.
Okay.
Breakaway is a cycling rolling gamble. Small group escapes the main field works together to build a lead, and then if the peloton does not catch them, turns on one another for the win. And so that's the short version. But I have some
the cat and mouse game is what it is.
Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it says, picture the Tour de France as a large school or fish are moving down the road. The main group is called the peloton. The breakaway happens when one or two riders, more commonly a handful of riders, accelerates away from that group and establishes a gap. It's called the breakaway for the simplest possible reason. The riders have broken away from the main field. So you may hear the commentators call it the break or the escape, or in French, l'échappée. How did I do?
Why don't we just call it a breakaway?
Breakaway.
Yeah.
That's okay, because my cousin Mark said, Adam, I love you, but no, buddy, you can't pronounce. He said, I don't want to misquote him. He says, I love you, Adam. Bless your heart. Alpe d'Huez is one of the most iconic switchback in Tour has ever showcased. And so I obviously.
Alpe d'Huez.
So, yeah, that one.
D'Huez.
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
21 hairpin turns, by the way. Just something to look forward to. 21 hairpin turns.
Oh,
very cool.
That's awesome. So maybe that's our next trip.
Going down, absolutely.
Okay. But getting back to the breakaway, why riders attempt it? Why would someone do this? For riders, especially those who cannot outsprint the fastest sprinters, breakaway may be their only realistic route to a stage victory, a chance to win, competition points, team tactics, visibility. And so what are the costs and the risks of doing a breakaway or taking that initiative? It could be a risk that it's more work. A small group receives much less shelter from the wind than the peloton. You could have tomorrow's price. A rider may empty the tank today, such as their physical tank. They lower out or blow out all their energy. And there's no guarantee. So the group can ride in front for hours and hours and hours. And then eventually the peloton could catch back up to them. So they could build that lead and come back. Riders may skip turns, attack one another, or stop cooperating as the finish approaches. So here you have a breakaway and you look at each other like, all right, we're going to do this. And then at the very end, everyone turns on each other. So that's kind of,
yeah. And that's fun it's fun to watch actually, because you'll see them and, they flick their elbow when they're ready for the person, to take over. And there's sometimes where he flicks his elbow and then he flicks his elbow again. And the guy behind him's like, nope, I'm just here for a ride.
On behalf of Adam
and Michael,
we both want to say thank you
for your support.
It says the chase, keeping the break on a leash. The peloton usually wants to catch a breakaway, but not too early. Catch it with 60 kilometers, remaining, and another group may attack. Chasing teams therefore often hold the escape at a manageable distance, like a fisherman allows a fish to run while keeping the tension on the line. So
there you go.
Fascinating paradox. Strong riders not always the most welcome in the rider breakaway. Sometimes close or an overall lead, the yellow jerseys team will chase. The other escapes may refuse to cooperate with that rider or help drop them. But I wanted to kind of look at some breakaway top stories. And so we have Oscar in 2006, the breakaway that won the Tour. How do you pronounce Pereiro? Since you've been watching this forever, Pereiro. He began stage 13 nearly half an hour behind the race leader, so the peloton treated him as harmless and allowed his group an enormous advantage. He recovered almost 30 minutes and moved into the yellow, and further twist, Floyd Landis eventually disqualification, which made him the winner of the entire Tour. So in 2006. And then in 2004, an accidental national hero. Could you imagine, like, and Michael Sharp, the accidental national hero? So
I'll take it. I'll take it.
all right, fair enough. This gentleman entered a breakaway, Thomas Vokuler. He entered a breakaway that gained enough time to put him in yellow. He was not expected to keep it, but defended the jersey for 10 days, transforming himself into a relatively little-known French rider into one of the tour's most beloved figures.
I believe his last name is Vogler.
Yeah, that's what it is. Of course, that's exactly what it is. I was just testing.
See, I can't do it if you like spell it to me, but you know.
Jack Bauer. You saw the television show 24, right?
Oh, yeah. Jack was awesome.
Yeah. Well, in 2014, he had the heartbreak after, okay, it wasn't really Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer, the cyclist, he had a heartbreak. After riding in the front for almost the entire stage, Bauer was swallowed by the charging peloton only a few dozen meters from the finish. He collapsed afterwards in tears, perfectly illustrates the cruelty of a breakaway. Hours of hope can disappear in seconds. And finally, in 2022, something more relevant, closer to what we're talking about today, Mr. Simon Clark. How the gamble paid off. On the tour's cobbled stage, Clark joined the six-rider escape and won by an extraordinary narrow margin over Taco van der Hoorn. How's that? Van der Hoorn? Taco?
That's good enough.
You know what? We just call him Taco.
His first name, Taco.
His name is Taco.
Okay. Go ahead.
Buddy, don't eat the shredded lettuce at Taco Bell right now, okay?
Don't eat shredded lettuce, period.
Yeah, you know what? It's not just Taco Bell. They're using them as I was going to say, because they're using them as a scapegoat. It's any of the Taylor Farms lettuce. Stay away. Otherwise, you're going to end up someplace you don't want.
Here's my theory. Just don't eat lettuce.
This has been your whole plan.
This is all part of my master plan to get rid of lettuce.
Well, Mr. Taco, right? He crashed and mechanical problems caused chaos among the overall contenders behind them. Being ahead brought both opportunity and some protection from the trouble. So, anyways, I just was, when you first mentioned the breakaway, I cannot lie. I'm like, I wonder what a breakaway is. I figured a couple first times watching it, but thought it would be a little interesting to talk about what a breakaway it is, in case people are like, the leisure breakaway. And they're like, what a breakaway is. Or unless it's just me. So
it's where we broke away from our regular podcast and did something completely different.
We're cursed.
And no one's caught us yet.
I was going to say, we're cursed. We can't get back to the regular show. We keep trying. We're just having some technical difficulties. So
it's not technical. It's timing difficulties, I would call it.
Yeah, timing. If you moved to Eastern time, we wouldn't have this problem. So
if I moved to Eastern time, there'd be a lot of other problems. So,
well, listen, let's talk about stage 8. The sprinters have their final realistic opportunity.
They do. Stage 18.
Yes, sir.
185.2 kilometers. That's 115.1 miles. And that includes approximately 3,900 meters or 12,800 feet of climb. It finishes uphill. Following a final climb of about 7.1 kilometers and an average gradient of 6.7%. And this is going to be the first of 3 major alpine stages to close out the tour. So the sprinters are likely just to be fighting simply to make that time limit, because this will definitely not be in the sprinters' wheelhouse.
Well, we're coming to the end of our mini series. I'm going to ask you every night. So 4 minutes and 32 seconds, stage 18. What do you think?
Okay. As you know, I'm a realist. I try to call things as I see them. I'm not overly pessimistic, but I'm not overly optimistic. I I still think there is a chance. And I think, you know what? A lot of things have been happening to Toddy's team and things of that nature. I think there is still a chance. We will see after tomorrow's ride if Remco does not pick up at least 45 seconds in tomorrow's ride, it's over.
Okay.
He's got to pick up at least 45 seconds tomorrow to make it work. That's
Okay.
my prediction. My unprofessional opinion. What does that clown out in Kansas know about riding? That's what I'm going to say.
Well, I think you know a lot. And actually, I normally wouldn't give you a big kiss and on your butt, but you taught me a lot about the tour. And obviously, I don't know how to pronounce anything, but that's just because I'm a stupid American. But at the same time, I've learned a lot about the tour. I've learned about, the time. I had no clue about the time trials. I knew about the rest days because when you and I were traveling somewhere, you said, you can put the race on. And you said, no, it's okay. It's a rest day. So I knew about that. Didn't know the competitiveness. Learned a lot about the teams. I've learned about the salary for sure. I had no clue how they got paid. And so throughout this journey, I've learned a lot. You give me a new perspective on the tour. And what I'm really loving is the community members who are like Mandy Johnson. I got to give her credit. She's been texting me about some podcasts and some. You and I talked about that the hid World War II documents or World War I or II documents within the frame of the bicycle. We talked about that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Mandy actually came forward and showed me a book that is all about that, and it's called Road to Valor, a true story of World War II Italy, the Nazis, and the cyclists who inspired a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she was very truthful that she said that she said, been meaning to send you this for a few days, not sure about a movie, but there is a book. It gets 4.5 stars. I purchased this 4 years ago and haven't finished it. I can tell her how it ends. I mean, I'm just
the
kidding.
Nazis lose.
Yeah.
They should have checked the bike. They may have won. They didn't check the bike. Way to go.
She says it's a great story, but I don't think the authors have a very good storyteller. I might give it another go, though. So I just thought that was really cool that you and I were talking about it, and I kept saying it's got to be a movie. But here is the for those who like to watch, here is the cover of the book.
There you go. Road to Valor.
So thank you, Mandy.
That is a great story. It's just one of many of all the ways that spies and the French underground and stuff got messages back and forth, but it's really cool. Yeah.
I feel as though we need to mention our good friend Armando. He says, hey guys, I owe an apology for not getting back to you in a timely manner. Hey, we understand completely.
Absolutely.
Between coming out to LA, Tahoe, driving back and forth, he hard works with keeping up with 2 grandsons. Hey, congratulations on the grandsons, of course. He did want to say here that the penalties are in Swiss francs because the UCI headquarters are in Switzerland. So that's pretty cool. I just wanted to mention that we've talked about the money going back and forth and francs and Deutschmarks, and I'm just kidding. But But thank you, Armando. Appreciate your input there, sir.
And to all of our Swiss listeners, I apologize. I'm just playing. It's real money. I'm just having fun with it. Sorry. I don't want to offend anybody when I, was joking about their money.
Now, see, that's funny because I always say I'm the Switzerland of transportation because people are like, well, what side of the aisle are you on? And I'm like, I'm the Switzerland. I'm neutral, baby. I am neutral. Well, all right. Listen, for all of those who are taking the time to write us and message us, also want to make sure we give a little shout out to all of our friends who are at Ragbri. I am so happy to see that the weather is much cooler for you.
Down, yes.
Yes, cooled down. So I know you were all waiting for the song, so I don't think I should make them wait anymore.
Let it roll.
Welcome to the Leisure Breakaway. Catch the sun and seize the day. listen to the rhythmic beat. Keep on moving, never slow. Where the yellow jersey goes. The tour is calling out your name. This is the